So guys, I'm back here again. The single most important thing that you can do for yourself is to get fit. When you are able to be consistent in exercise, something starts to shift, right? Your mindset starts to shift. You start becoming more positive. You start feeling more motivated to achieve things. You feel on top of the world, when you get a good workout in the gym, when you go for a run, when you go for a walk. And I'm talking about on a daily basis. I'm not talking about skipping a day. Yes, you can have your rest days, but during those rest days, you should at least still get the heart rate up through some low impact exercise, such as running or, stretching, something of that nature. Because what it does is that it creates blood flow to the brain. And I've noticed that when you work out on a daily basis, when you just get your ass out there and move, you feel happier, you feel more focused, you start feeling more positive as an individual. You are able to have better conversations with people. You are able to control your emotions better. You don't get angry or agitated so easily by certain things. Because you know why? It's because you feel confident in yourself. You feel calm. You let out the aggression inside of you by exercising, even if it's at high intensity or low intensity. You let out that emotion and aggression through exercise. So now what's left is just a sense of calmness and peace. So by doing this, it transmutes, it goes into other aspects of your life too. And I've talked about this in other videos, that when you work out on a daily basis, when you exercise on a daily basis, you are able to, you have motivation to get things done. You have the desire to get things done. You get the groceries, you clean your room, you clean the car or whatever. You go to work with a positive mindset. You have the energy to do things. You don't feel sluggish. You don't feel depressed. You don't feel like you don't want to get shit done. You don't complain. You start complaining less because you got the hardest thing out of the day done, which was to exercise. Because for most people, exercise is a drag. They think it's like it's such a chore, but when you start doing it, when you keep exercising, when you become consistent with trying to change your body through exercise, you start changing yourself in other aspects too. Because now that you exercise on a daily basis, you've made a promise to yourself. You made a promise to be better. So now what's going to happen is that you're going to want to start eating healthy, because it translates to the output, the quality of your workouts, of your exercise. If you eat junk food and shit, fried food and pizza and all that crap, what do you think is going to happen to you? Your workouts are not going to be that effective. You're going to feel very tired. You're going to have inflammation. You're going to, get cramps. But when you eat salads, fruits, veggies, your workouts become better, right? And now that you are consistent in exercising, you want to sleep on time. So now you're sleeping early. Now you're sleeping consistently at a fixed time. You wake up at a fixed time. And there will come a point where you look forward to exercise. You look forward to going to the gym. You look forward to getting that heart rate up. And one thing I'm going to mention is that when you exercise in a gym compared to exercising at home by yourself, it's very different. When you're at home, you really got to push yourself to motivate yourself to exercise, because there's no one around you watching you. You don't feel like you're in competition with other people. And in the gym, there's good competition. You don't need to envy the other person. But when you go to a gym, you see other people working out, so you feel more motivated to lift those weights. You feel more motivated to go on that run because now you're being watched. And then you see the other guy who's probably half your age doing 50 push-ups, and you're only doing 20. You want to push yourself to 30. You want to push yourself to 40. You want to beat that person. And it's like a very positive atmosphere to be at, and you feel addicted. You want to keep going to the gym. You want to keep going into an environment where you see other people around you also exercising. And the people who are exercising consistently have a very successful lifestyle. I'm telling you right now, they're more successful than other people. The ones that exercise all the time, that don't miss 2 or 3 days all the time. You know what I mean? Those types of people are very, very successful in their aspect of life, whatever you define as success. Maybe those people are, they have really good jobs, or, maybe those people are able to speak multiple languages. You want to know why? Because they had the desire to study those languages. They had the desire to make more money. Why? Because they felt good. They felt good mentally. They had the energy to push, to go past their comfort zone. You know why? Because it all started with the foundation of, drum roll please, exercise. Consistent exercise. That is the foundation for success. That I strongly believe that. I don't care if you disagree with me. Exercise is the foundation to success. It is the foundation for everything in your life. And exercise shouldn't be a chore. It should be a lifestyle. If you can make it a daily thing, like brushing your teeth, like taking a shower before, whatever, taking a shower on a daily basis. If you make it like that as a lifestyle, then you're set for life, bro. You're happy for life. You're gonna be happy. You have a harsh breakup, you've had a terrible divorce, go to the fucking gym, you feel 100 times better. You lost your job, go to the gym, or not even just exercise. Even if you can't afford a membership, just go for a walk, go do some push-ups. You feel 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 times better. I'm going to go on another path right now, but prisoners in jail, when they exercise, they feel good about themselves, and they have nothing better to do than to exercise. And some jails, some prisons, they ban prisoners from exercising. You want to know why? Because it gets the heart rate up. They get more pumped up, and they don't want you to be better. They want you to be imprisoned. They want you to succumb to the system. These are all these things that are set in place to prevent you from leveling up, right? So, which is why, exercising is like the cure. Exercising is the cure for so many ailments in this world. A lot of the problems and sicknesses that we have come from a lot of food that we eat and lack of exercise. We just sit on our ass and let the food just freaking come out of our ass, right? And we don't, we just let the poison us quicker. But if you go to the gym, if you exercise on a daily basis, you are reducing your chances of getting really sick. You are slowing down the aging process. There's so many benefits to it, which is why, if you're watching this video and you hear me rambling about this shit, I'm not rambling for nothing. I'm rambling out of experience. I'm rambling because I can tell you from my own life that exercise has changed my whole viewpoint in life. If it wasn't for exercise, it wasn't for me prioritizing exercise over everything else, I would be in a very dark place right now. I would not be happy with myself. I would not be confident in myself. I would not have this fucking YouTube channel and posting videos. I would be really fat. I would have a lot of health problems, and thank God I don't, because I exercise. So guys, it's very important, man, that you commit yourself to daily exercise. And if you are putting a lot of your effort into starting your own business, if you're putting a lot of effort into you starting a YouTube channel or whatever, but you are delaying exercise, you're putting that on the back burner, you're putting that in the back burner, you are really limiting yourself. I'm being honest with you. You really are limiting yourself. If you're a hardcore video game person, you want to become a pro gamer, if you are not putting exercise into your lifestyle on a daily basis, your skill set of playing the video game will go down, because you have lack of focus. You feel tired, you feel drained, you feel like shit. But if you freaking go for a 20 minute run before you start playing your game, you feel more into the game. You're more in tune with the controls. Your reflexes are quicker. When you go for a walk first thing in the morning, before you log on to start work, before you log on to start your business, before you log on to check your emails, you go in with a very, very positive mindset. You go in with a very hyper-focused mindset, because you got the hardest thing out of the way, which most people don't like doing, which is exercising. But I think the shift is starting to change. I think more people are starting to realize that exercise is very important for your mental health and your just your overall quality of life. And it transitions into other aspects of life, you know? It is it like I said before, it is the ultimate cure for everything. And thank you for watching this video. I know I mumbled too much. I'll see you next time.